I divorced myself from the human race a long time ago and from this culture, this nation, because I think the human race has chosen to organize itself poorly. I think we were given great gifts. We were given this opposable thumb, the ability to walk upright, binocular vision, and the mind that could distinguish between the objective and the subjective. And we have used these gifts to produce tequila lollipops that have a worm in the middle, pancakes that'll make, cell phones that'll make pancakes. You know, it's an absurdity. We have been diverted with toys and gizmos from our lives being stolen from us in this country.
But to say you've divorced yourself from the human race,
Yes.
It's such a big statement. It backs up what the previous caller said, which is that you've gotten more cynical over time.
Cynical is a word that I apply to people like the Ford Motor Company, who chose to continue to make the Ford Pinto when the gas tanks were exploding because it would have been cheaper to pay off the widows than it would be to retool. That's cynicism.
How do you characterize yourself?
As a skeptic and a realist. Now, I buy the fact that there is a definition of cynic that fits me, and I'll take that. That's fine. Because about the human race, I want to say, what happened, and that's a dramatic, an overly melodramatic way of putting it. What happened was, at some point I realized I didn't see a good ending to any of this. You can smell the end coming. You can smell it. We don't know. We've already had peak oil. We've already had peak water in the Southwest and the Southeast. People don't know this. They go about their business. And I felt that in fact, it just happened, I described it to myself afterward. I found that by divorcing myself emotionally from any interest in a certain outcome, without being a cheerleader for a result, I could detach myself emotionally and be more of an objective writer. I could look at things more fairly from my point of view.
But I think that in the 60s and 70s, your work gave a lot of young people hope about the future.
That's true.
You articulated what a lot of kids thought was absurd about the established view of words and war and God. But by saying it out loud and making fun of it, you gave people hope that things could be different. Did you ever see your work that way?
Not from my perspective. If I read that someone said that, I would say, I can kind of see that. But when they say, for instance, to me, do you try to make people think? I say, no. That would be the kiss of death. Really, it would. If you went out at the door every morning, I'm going to make people think.
Because then you couldn't make them laugh, and then you wouldn't be
That's right.
heard.
I just want them to know I'm thinking. And I know that laughter opens the doors to perception. It allows a thought to get in because you're completely unguarded and zen-like when you're laughing.